Hello there and welcome back to our course on Project 2019. In this section I'm going to set you exercise 4. Now this is a reasonably straightforward exercise, but it takes a little bit of explaining. Now I'm starting you with a version of the bathroom refit project, version 04A, and I've set up some resources. But I'm only really concerned here with the resources in the second part of the project. So for the first two phases, the parts that I'm effectively going to do myself, where I'm not going to do things like look into the color scheme and the tiles and all those things, I'm not really too worried about resourcing those. In fact, with those, I've generally set up the task type to fixed duration. But later on in the project, for the implementation phase and also the completion phase, I've allocated some resources. These are people I'm going to employ to do the work on the refit for me. As you can see, we have some resource over allocation issues. But if I just look now at the resource sheet, you'll see that I've set up an electrician, a plumber, and a contractor. The contractor is basically a general builder, so somebody who's able to do most of the jobs that I'm going to need to get done during this bathroom refit. And as you can see, it's the contractor who is over allocated. Now the first thing I'd like you to do is to move the start date of the project to tomorrow. That is your tomorrow, not my tomorrow when I'm recording this course, but your tomorrow, as though you were actually going to start doing all of this work from tomorrow. Now, when I move my start date to tomorrow, I finish up with an end date of May the 1st. Now, clearly it's very unlikely you'll finish up with the same end date as me, but make a mental note of that end date because the next step is to level the resources. And in order to do that, I want you to use the standard leveling. And I want you to do it in such a way that you're quite happy for the refit complete date to move out to be later on. And I want you to do it on a week by week basis. So that's the first exercise. Now when I do that, my refit complete date goes back about 10 days or so. And you should find that yours goes out by about 10 days as well. So given this one contractor, and given the electrician and the plumber and the plan that I've got here, I can stick with those resources and it will delay the end date by about 10 days. So that's the first part of the exercise. If you do get a slightly different date to that, bear in mind it could just be the way that your weekends are falling. Then what I want you to do is I want you to clear the leveling again. Now what I want you to do is to level those resources on a day-by-day basis without changing the end date. So the end date is still going to be whatever you started, whatever your end date is, if you like. The end date you got straight after you moved the start date of the project. Now the obvious question is, how am I going to do that? How am I going to keep the same end date and clear all of the over allocations? The answer to that is you're going to use more contractors. The question for you is, how many more do you need to use? My answer to that is in 4B. Good luck with that, and I'll see you in the next section.